What do you do when you're not able to put someone in a trance? So you've got a client, and whatever you try, you can't put the client into a trance. Now, I want to talk about this from two perspectives. The first one, we'll talk about the traditional kind of hypnosis, hypnotherapy. So you've got a client, you've got them sat in a nice comfy chair, or they're laid down, and whatever you do, you cannot get them into a trance. So my first question is, how do you know? Are you actually talking to the client, or does the client go, you know what, Paul, I can't get into a trance. I'm sat here and it ain't happening. If that's the case, ask yourself a question. Are you doing something not the right way, or is the client not in the right frame of mind, or doesn't actually want to go into a trance? Could be any number of things. Could be they booked a session with you and they've had a really bad morning, really bad afternoon. They got shouted at by the boss or whatever, and they're just not, they're not feeling it, for want of a better phrase. Yeah. Maybe you've put on, you're burning some incense or playing some relaxing music, and that just doesn't gel with them. Maybe they're not into the smell of incense, and maybe they're not into the relaxing music, and they just don't know how to tell you this. Maybe the atmosphere is wrong for them. Maybe they're not feeling too good. Maybe they're tense and don't want to let go. Maybe they are nervous. Maybe they're worried. Maybe they're suspicious. There could be a whole host of reasons why you're not able to put that person into a trance. Maybe you're trying too hard. Maybe you're putting too much pressure on yourself. Maybe you're looking for signs that a person is in a trance that aren't actually there. Because let's face it, there is so much debate at the moment as to what a trance actually is. Some people say it's something you induce, some people say it's a state that's already with us, and some people say other things. So how on earth can you decide if a person is in a trance unless you kind of try and do some kind of tests, like, get the arm levitated or checking for eye movements? I don't know, because I don't know any of this kind of stuff. Yeah. So maybe one of those things is off or out of kilter, which is why your client is not going into a trance. Now, let me give you another perspective. Why does your client need to go into a trance? What does a trance look like? What does a trance feel like? I've been hypnotized lots of different times, and each time it feels like something different. With ACH, with advanced, conversational hypnosis, we don't put the client into a trance. We don't relax them. We don't use deepeners. We don't do that pre-talk and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. We don't do any of that. We simply have a conversation with the client, a very specific type of conversation. And then the client decides themselves if and when they need to go into something that you would recognize as a trance. I've had clients completely go, dum, and zonk out. I've had clients go, and stay like that for ages. I've actually had clients that have talked all the way through without stopping. No sign of what you would traditionally believe is a trance. Lots and lots of UMs, unconscious moments. Our job there is to expand those UMs so that the client can benefit from them. That's a different video. I don't put the client into a trance. I help them go to a space where they can figure out what the actual problem is and not the symptom. And when they're good and ready, they go to that place, for want of a better phrase, yeah, and they do what they need to do. They work out what they need to do. They figure out what needs to happen in their own minds. I don't put anybody in trance. I really don't. I help the client get to a place, and they do it themselves with my help, with my guidance. I see myself as a Sherpa, if you like, as a mountain guide. I take you up the best route along that mountain, but I don't climb it for you. You still have to climb the mountain. I just guide you the best way possible, the fastest route, the safest route. That's what I do. I'm a guide. I guide my clients to help them find the resolution that works for them. Not any resolution that I think that they should have, not conclusions that I've drawn from my past life experience, yeah, but what the client actually needs. And so sometimes a client will go into what we call a trance for half an hour, and then they come out and go, "What just happened?" And the problem's gone, sorted, fixed. Other clients have been, with me for an hour or so, and it's like, "What happened there, Paul?" Well, we've been having a conversation. I don't remember any of it. We've had a very good conversation. I don't remember any of it. It doesn't matter. How are you feeling? I feel bloody amazing. What's the problem? There isn't one. None of that involved me going, relax, relax, go deeper and deeper. The better you feel, the deeper you go, you better feel. Any of that kind of stuff. It's not required. With ACH, you don't need any of that. You don't need a script. You don't need deepeners. You don't need pre-talk. You don't need language patterns. You don't need any of that stuff. You don't even need to know if your client's going into a trance or not. You don't have to put them there. The client goes to that space, that place, when they're ready. And sometimes, if you're not paying attention, it might be over and done with. But our job is to listen and focus on the client and pay attention. So if you're doing that, you will notice these things. So if you're asking yourself, why my client's not getting into a trance, or why is this particular person not getting into a trance, ask yourself those questions. What in my setup isn't working for the client? Or what is the client bringing to the table that's not helping them go into a trance? Figure out those two questions, and you get yourself sorted by process of elimination. Or alternatively, come and find out what ACH is and how you can ditch all of that stuff, the pre-talk and the language patterns and the scripts and the homework and the videos and the DVDs that you have to record, all that stuff. Just bring it back to the simplest form possible. Let stuff go and use what works. If you're interested, even if you're not interested, drop me a DM or leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye now.